What's going on, guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another video for Dauntless, and today we're diving back into the current season, Neon and Aether. For those of you guys that may have, say, lapsed or haven't played for a little while, I want to take a look at what was introduced this season, talk about some of the new stuff, some of the new mechanics, some of the changes, and also talk about some of the stuff that is on the horizon, because Dauntless is not only about to exit early access, but there's also some new stuff and new weapons, or a new weapon, that is on the way. So in this video, I'm going to go over all of that for those of you guys that want to have a quick catch up on what is currently going on in the world of Dauntless. So I also want to take a moment to very kindly thank Dauntless for sponsoring this video, give us a chance to jump back in and check it out. Now, first things first, the current season, Neon and Aether. This is, aesthetically, looks kind of like you belong in one of those sort of futuristic Tron style game shows. I kind of sort of picture like Alita meets Tron meets like, I don't know, Rocket League kind of thing with those like futuristic, super clean lines, bright lights. I like it a lot. I mean, I will still say that my favourite one has still been the sort of shinobi ninja themed aesthetic, but Neon and Aether gives you some bright colours, some cool, clean, futuristic armour to of course go after. With a new season, of course, means a new hunt pass. Of course, you can grab this for free and work through it normally, or you can upgrade to the elite track and you can then grab all the stuff that is associated with it. And being a brand new season, that means you have a whole new suite of transmog, some new gear to rep if you want to sort of like look like you belong in that futuristic game show. There's of course stuff for your weapons, there's emotes, all that good stuff, and then of course you can also turn your attention to the store if you want to grab some additional items, and if you happen to do so, then you can use the epic creator code Arekkz if you do decide to pick anything up. But more importantly, one of the cool new things they introduced this season was Faction Fight. This is an event which, when I first heard about it, kind of sounded more like Splatfest from Splatoon, albeit a little bit more serious than Splatfest, because you're not going to be arguing about like ketchup versus mayo or salt versus pepper. But basically the way that it works in Dauntless is that you pick a side. So this time around, it has actually finished already, but this time around it was Endurance versus Defiance, and you pick your side, and then when you go on quests, you earn points for your team, and then the winning faction's lantern is then added to the store for free. So Defiance won this time around, meaning you can then still go and grab that lantern if you haven't done so already. But when you actually went around to pick your side, you were then also able to go and pick up their share of cosmetics from the store. That includes a helmet transmog, armor dye, hair tint, and also a banner. And if you happen to have aligned with that faction, you can also get a 25% discount for those items. So basically, kind of allows you to sort of pick a side, fight for that side, and start working towards like a big global team effort, which is kind of cool. We've seen this sort of thing in other games before, and they're just nice. Like, even though there might not necessarily be, say, factions actually fighting against one another, it's kind of cool to have those sort of community things that you work together, build up as a side. Kind of reminds me of sort of those Guild Warsy kind of things, which is really cool. But yeah, so that's the faction system that was introduced this season. It's a pretty cool system, and it's one of those things that I'm excited to sort of see them do more of moving forward. Additionally, they've also made some change to transmog, so for those of you guys that have been getting some new transmog items and want to do more of this, they've actually changed it so that transmog stones now, instead of requiring a stone every time you want to use a craft appearance, you can instead simply use those stones to unlock that item forever, and you can then simply swap that around, meaning transmog is definitely a lot more accessible. Of course, on top of that, there are also new loadout options. So for those of you guys that have loads of different gear setups, you can now save your different loadouts. By default, you have 6 free. You can also buy an additional 9 from the store for 1,000 platinum if you want to, for a total of 15. But basically, having those free slots means if you do have different weapons, different setups, you can then swap those on the fly and kind of just, you know, keep things moving, because there's nothing more annoying than having to respec every time, reslot things, readjust things. It can be mighty frustrating. So seeing that finally make its way into the game is definitely really cool. Now on top of that, the current season also saw a reworking to the patrol chest systems, patrol chest 2.0 if you will. Basically they reworked them to make them not only more intuitive but also more rewarding. Patrol chests are set up so that they reward items required to upgrade your gear, and in order to open a chest you have to complete a patrol mission, which will then determine the loot that you get from that chest. So for example, if you were to go on, say, a Blaze Patrol, that will grant you Blaze Orbs, which can then be used to upgrade Blaze equipment. Or another example being, say, Dire Patrols, giving you Dull Stones, which are required to upgrade higher tier equipment, and Heroic Patrols, of course, give you the all-important Shining Arc Stones, which are required to upgrade the highest tier of equipment. Now, you'll get 2 free patrol chests per day, meaning you complete your patrol, and upon completing it, you open your chest. But if you haven't logged in on a set number of days, you will not necessarily lose those chests. They can stack up to a total of 6. So if you were to log in every 3 days, you could then do your 6 free patrol chests. You can also buy more of these from the store if you want to, but it is worth noting that when you're going through completing your patrols, it will start going through your free patrol chest first to ensure that you can still keep building up that tally. And of course, if for some reason you decide you don't want to use it, maybe you just go on a patrol and it's not the one that you wanted, you can also choose to not use a chest when taking part in a patrol, so you don't necessarily lose things that you've been saving up. So having to change that system, of course, giving you something to like, giving more purpose to patrols, giving you something to actually go after, and a way to further target those materials that you need for your upgrades is also going to be pretty handy. Now, for those of you guys that have been working into the endgame content, doing some of those trials, the other thing they introduced in this season are Styxians. These are kind of these mysterious creatures that can sometimes be found in trials, and they're these sort of fearsome beasts that look like a cross between a shark and a cat. I myself haven't had a chance to actually face one of these just yet, but for those of you guys that have, be sure to let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of them, what's the challenge like. But mainly it's just worth noting that they are, of course, using this as a means to expand on the already established endgame system, these trials, giving you more stuff to pursue, once you get your really good gear. Because ultimately, if you go through and farm all this gear, you get these cool setups, you want to have something that you can test them out on. But that aside, there are a few more things worth talking about, because this is where we now turn our attention to the future, because for all this time, for the past 5 years, it's kind of crazy to sort of think about this. Like, I remember playing Dauntless way before it even went into early access, way before, like, when I kind of got first hands on during like a really, really early beta build. To see it now, like 5 years later, it is finally going into official 1.0 launch, because up until this point, while it's now available on, consoles, it has, technically speaking, still always been in early access. But as of September 26th, it now goes officially into 1.0, which is extremely exciting. And with that, they're going to be introducing a new behemoth, which is the Tempest-born Stormclaw. And more exciting, they're going to be introducing a new weapon, and this is a weapon that I've wanted for a long time, not necessarily in this game, just any game, and that is a set of gauntlets called the Aether Strikers, which are effectively fist weapons. And for those of you guys that have played things like monk classes or things like that in other games, then there's nothing more satisfying than running up to a giant monster and basically punching it in the face. That I cannot wait to check out. So when that goes live, I'm definitely going to be diving in and checking out what that weapon is like, because I hope it's really good. However, on top of that, they're also going to be introducing a new bounty system and much more. So safe to say, if you guys have been playing Dauntless, maybe you guys started playing it recently on console, maybe you've been playing it for a long time, either way, there's a lot of stuff coming your way, and I can't wait to check it out. But for the time being, that's pretty much it. The new season, or the current season, does end pretty soon, so if there's anything else that you haven't done just yet, make sure you do pick it up, make sure you go and jump in, grab those items before they're gone, because of course, when the new season kicks off, there'll be a whole new suite of stuff to go after, and new stuff to check out. Anyway, that's it for the time being. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to keep it locked for plenty more. I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and also click on the little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. Also, don't forget, you can check out 269 and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. Be sure to drop by and get involved. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.